Hey folks, you may be listening to the fireworks in the background since it is July 4th, Independence Day, and apparently in our neighborhood or near our neighborhood people are very enthusiastic about celebrating their independence. This is my first time experiencing this. And I was kind of thinking about, and this is kind of cheesy, but I was kind of thinking about Independence Day and what that means to me. You know, it's an American holiday that I didn't really grow up having too much relationship to just because I was growing up overseas for most of the formative years, see. But of course, you know, I knew about it, and it was a thing. You know, I grew up in Germany, where there was at the time, early 80s, not a lot of celebrating national holidays or, you know, celebrating all things German, because that just wasn't done. It had been World War II was a little too recent for Germans to go being too enthusiastic about being German again. And I, on some level, I think I absorbed that culturally. I mean, I knew I wasn't German, but I also think there was a sense of kind of like national pride just wasn't really a thing. Until I got a little older, moved to America, and, you know, and I always felt American, and I even had a sense of American national pride. I think I had a sense of real, I always felt like, even though I grew up abroad, I knew I was American. I knew that this country was my roots. I knew that I'd probably eventually come back here, live here. You know, I kind of always assumed that, even though for, you know, a full decade or a little more of my young life, we weren't here very much. But I think that what that has given me is a kind of like a playful relationship to the notion of Independence Day. You know, I was thinking this morning or yesterday morning in meditation about, I had a thought come through about immanence and transcendence, and for some reason I was seeing really clearly that immanence, you know, this notion that the world of spirit is immanent in the world. The world of spirit, in other words, is in everything in the world. It's in every human being, it's in every object, it's in every event. There's nothing non-spiritual about the material, physical, existent world. But that's the world of illusion. And then there's the transcendent half of the spiritual coin, so to speak, which is the infinite oneness, nothingness, no-thingness of spirit itself, consciousness itself, the window of perception, the picture frame in which the entire world exists. And this is the thing that, you know, most meditative techniques are in some way leading us there, even if they're not directly focused on that. The meditative traditions and spiritual traditions are generally kind of leading us to a realization of that. And there's this, so like, I was just kind of like, this is what was going through my head as I was meditating. And what I saw, there was like a flash where I saw that immanence, the world of spirit in the world, and transcendence, the world of spirit beyond the world, not of the world, are actually united in the present moment. This moment now is the place, it's the literal moment of existence in which the world that is here, everything that's here, and the beyond, the space of the beyond, of all possibility, of infinite possibility, of no limitation, are actually fused. They are literally one thing in this moment. And that, there was something palpable about the way that came through. You know, I would say it's something that I probably would have been able to articulate before, but struggle in my life. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a struggle, but or there's been a struggle. I don't know if I would necessarily say that it's revolved strictly around this dilemma, but this feeling of sometimes where I need to go, what I need to do, sometimes the direction that feels like evolution to me is to immerse myself in the transcendent side of life, of spirit, and just deeply let go into the space of the infinite and kind of fall into just the pure consciousness of the moment. It's like I'm just all physical patterns, all physical energy, all physical everything is just it's allowed to be, but I'm bringing myself to a place where I'm not that. I'm the perception of that. I'm the perceiving, witnessing presence of that. But there are other times in my life when it feels like what's really important is my engagement with the world and what I do here and the working surface of like all of this, whether it's my relationships or my work or my friends outside setting off fireworks or it's like there's I'll feel like I'll know intuitively that the letting go into spirit, it's not that that's not still important, but that there's also a part of me that is being called upon to engage in this immanent, tangible, concrete, worldly way. And as someone who's always had a real proclivity and a real kind of like, I've been drawn to spiritual practice all my life, it's been, it's been a journey, and it's been a bit of a search, I would say, because there's a part of me that is like, well, should I just be a monk, in a monastery? Would that life of no worldly commitments really appeal to me? And the fact is, what I've discovered over time, I mean, obviously here I am, right? But what's come through for me is no. Because in my life, whatever, in this journey of this body, mind through space-time, it's both. It's that immanence of the world and the concrete and the doing and the learning and the seeing and the giving and the challenges of the world, and the complete letting go and the realization that all of that is an illusion. The illusion is here to help me, but ultimately it's an illusion. It may be an illusion that's filled with joy and play. And it might be really fun to engage in that illusion and to develop myself and to feel myself expanding, to feel myself growing. But ultimately that's an illusion. And I can only really fully engage with the illusion and fully play the game if I realize that, and if I'm grounded in this space of immanence. And so what was coming through this morning and yesterday morning, which was so big, was the fact that the moment, this moment, those things are one. There's no separation between the infinity of everything, the infinite possibility, the infinite nothingness of the universe, the transcendence, and everything that's here. So I think I just offer that on Independence Day. There's an independence, this is what I said, it's going to be cheesy. There's an independence in that realization, because neither the transcendent nor the immanent, neither the giving up the world nor the limitations of the world have a hold, are ultimately our limitation. They co-liberate each other, as we realize in this very moment right now they're one. That's a huge thing. That's a big thing. If we can find that and viscerally, felt sense in our bodies, realize that, for me that's a game changer level realization, because it means there's never a problem. It means there's always a next step, and I don't have to, I'm never off track, I'm never not where I need to be. In this moment, I'm never not where I need to be. That's independence. Thank you, folks. Thank you for listening. As always, appreciate you so much. It means the world to me to have you giving your attention to what I'm saying and what's coming through me and affirming that. So, love you deeply. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. I'll see you very soon.